is and this is my senior Culminating club. So right now, my future goal and the reason for it is to become a Call of Duty professional pro player and become an entertainer within the field. So you might be confused on what this is, but I'm just going to go step by step. So basically, the reasoning for it is that education will always be there in my life. I'm pretty young right now, and so why not just go out there, put myself out there, try to pursue my dreams. And if it doesn't fall through, I have backup plans. So my plan of action is during this time, I will be attending a junior college. Not sure which one yet. It depends on where I'm living at the time because my mother wants to move after I graduate from high school. So I'll be attending a junior college for either 2 years or less. It really depends on if the plan is following through or whatnot. And I should be able to graduate early, or transfer early, I should say, if I want to, because I have lots of AP credit built up, and then I will also plan on taking winter classes and summer classes. I will be living with my mother, and I will be playing day in and day out on this game, and we'll be with a dedicated team, but obviously school is first because it is a backup plan. I will be uploading videos such as commentaries, tip videos, and even podcasts to YouTube to grow an audience, because that's the main income for most of these players. And I'll be attending events throughout the year that are hosted throughout the country, or across the country, I should say. And so it's maybe a little hard for people to understand, but it's just like basketball or football and whatnot, where they have, football has a sport game every week with 5 weeks for a while. Basketball has multiple games in a week with the same teams, but with this thing called esports, it is events placed throughout the year for hundreds of thousands of dollars as the prize pool. So the prize pool is a certain amount of money. For example, the most recent world championship of this most recent game had a prize pool of $2.7 million. So that was spread between the top 16 teams out of 32 teams that were invited. So if you place within the top 16, you got a certain chunk of that. First place, I believe, got $800,000. So my personal attributes is that I'm an effective communicator. Again, it's just like other sports like basketball and football. There are different strategies to use and whatnot. Like, how do you want to set the pace? Do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to be slow? What sort of thing do you want to come out with? Do you want to be defensive? Do you want to be offensive? Different strategies, different setups, stuff like that. And I'm an effective communicator in that you also have to call out on the map, because there are about 8 maps within the competitive rule set. So you have to call out to your teammates where exactly people are, what they're doing, their plan of action, what our plan of action is throughout the game. And then also I'm friendly yet critical, and this is important because in order to become widespread in the scene, you really have to put yourself out there to find a good team and find a team where you have really good chemistry and you can mesh together. And I'm also critical in that I know how to criticize a team, I know how to watch film and gain information from it. So potential obstacles will be school, obviously, but school's obviously going to come first because it truly is the most important thing, especially when you're doing something this risky. So when I'm attending a JC, schoolwork will have to be done, and my grades will have to be at least a 3.5, so I'll be able to do the UC feeder program. I will use saved up money from the government and personal savings for lane events, to attend these events basically. Or if I'm on a good enough team, organizations will actually fly me out, pay for my hotel, pay for the registration fee for us to play for them. And then online tournaments and wagers. Wager matches are basically, I put up $5, along with my team, the other team puts up $5, whoever wins, you get $10. You win the entire pot. And online tournaments, they're about maybe 3 to 4 a week, depending on what they are. So for example, the most recent one was actually a Call of Duty professional player happened to pass away. And so they did a tournament in his honor, and it was about $10,000 for an online tournament in his honor. And also, once an audience is grown, and income will flow. So I'm going to go over a professional player I'm going to go over 2 of them. Here's one of the most prominent ones. His name is Seth Abner, and his alias is Scump. That's what he's known by to all people. So he became pro at my age, 16, and he won his first ever tournament in 2011, MLG Dallas. He has 2 million subscribers of YouTube as of now, and he only started uploading within 2013. And one thing about the Call of Duty content is that it is a little bit slow growing, but once you do gain an audience, it is worthwhile. He's currently under a contract with MLG.TV, a streaming platform. So earlier when I said I'm going to be streaming, basically you just record, you're broadcasting yourself like a TV show live out to the internet on different platforms. The most prominent one is Twitch.tv, if you ever heard of that. And right now, if you want to look it up, there's a thing, it's a different game called League of Legends where they're doing their world tournament. And so on Twitch.tv, they get about 600,000 people watching, and then they also have partnership with TV networks, getting about 27 million people watching within the So back to Scump. He's regarded as the best submachine gun player in the world and has been for the past 3 years. So basically there are different roles, and we'll be going over that in the demonstration, but he has been one of the greatest within his role. Within the past 2 years, he has earned $170,000, $170,000 basically from just competition alone, basically winning the tournaments. And also, you might be surprised by this, but this game was actually played at the X Games, and so he's a 2-time gold medalist, and there's only been 2 X Games events so far. And so this is just to back it up. This is a website called Social Blade. Basically, YouTubers are contractually obligated not to share their income, but it has to be public information. So it is view-based, so his monthly earnings are about between $3K on a bad month and $50,000 on a good month per month. And so his yearly earnings, it's not going to be 37K. They basically take his lowest viewings from all the way back to 2013 and compare them now. And his maximum is $600,000 a year. And here's him winning his second X Games gold medal with his team and winning his first X Games gold medal right here. That's in 2014. This was in 2015 summer. Next slide. The next pro I'm going to be going over is Ian Crimsix Porter. He's actually been professional in 2 games, Call of Duty and Halo. He's known as the Crimbot because the plays he does and performs are robot-esque in that they're almost humanly impossible. His reaction times are insane. He is one of the only 3 players to win a World Championship and an X Games gold medal. So like I said earlier, the World Championship happened this year. It was won by Team Envious, and they took home the $800,000 between the 4 of them, so $200,000 each. And his total career earnings, and he only started playing within 2013, so it's about to go to 4 years, is $355,000, $115 from just competing. He was a member of one of the 2 most dominant teams. Almost like if you think about Jordan's Bulls, they're extremely dominant for 3 years. He was part of a team like that 2 times, and it was Complexity/Evil Geniuses and Optic Gaming. And so one thing I'm going to note on this is Complexity/Evil Geniuses, they were actually under an organization, and they were bought out by another organization and got paid that salary. So I believe it was known as one of the most historic and most well-known buyouts because it was about $170,000 just to acquire 4 players, and within esports, those never really seem to work. So this is just a few of his championships. This is him winning his world championship, and it was 2 years ago when the prize pool was lower, so you can see this $400,000 check right here between the 4 of them. And then here's his new team, and they just won. This is throughout the year they have different online seasons basically. So this year they had 3 seasons, and I believe this is them winning season 1 of the Atlanta. So community outreach, like I said earlier, I hope to strive to be like people like Scump and Crimsix, where they can reach large audiences and sort of inspire people just like they inspired me. Scump has 2 million subscribers on YouTube, which that's a lot. So basically you're giving back to the community, you're sort of giving them entertainment and things that they never really had before, because most of the people that put their heart and soul into these games, they have this sort of enigma about them where it's like most of them aren't really all that popular at school and whatnot, so they went and put themselves in this game where their skill will be recognized and they won't really be judged based on just their personality. They have a place to go to. And so I think Scump really inspired that, and he inspires a lot of people. So my reflection is that I overcame obstacles such as expressing my dreams and aspirations, as well as discovering what I really wish to pursue for the rest of my life. And even if, like I said earlier, even if it doesn't follow through, I'm going to a JC for at least 2 years and then transferring to the UC. So now I'm going to do my demonstration.
Hard point.
Okay, so basically what you're seeing right now, let me full screen real quick. And if you could you pause and play if I want to. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is this is choose a class team. So basically, like I said, Scump is the most prominent submachine gun player. This is a submachine gun. Most of the times it's going to be for close quarters engagements and sort of breaking into the objective. And then press play, please. And then pause, please. Right here you have an assault rifle, M8. It's one of the most prominent ones. It's a burst assault rifle. That's going to be for longer engagements and sort of holding spawns for your team, which I'll explain as we go through. And so one thing I'd like to say is that there are 4 game types that were played this year. Hardpoint, search and destroy, uplink, and capture the flag. This one is going to be an example of hardpoint, and I'm going to show you a setup and the basics of how it's played. Basically, we're just loading into the match right here. So There are 2 teams, as you can see down here. Pause, please. There are 2 teams, as you can see down here. 250 points to win. So basically, there are going to be these objectives around the map in which you have to sit in them and hold control of them. And each second you get is accumulated to a point. So each second you're in this hill, this hard point, you get 1 point back. And so there are 2 teams. Right now it's Black Ops. It's usually Black Ops CDP. They're going to be spawning on the opposite side of the map right now. Play, please.
Capture the objectives.
So basically, this is just the start of the game right here. And so, pause, please. So right here, this is, as you can see, hardpoint secure. So the first hardpoint is normally in the middle of the map. This map is known as Breach. So right now it's in the middle, right here, and it's right here. So, and also as you can see, 100 plus 100 score. This is something that's very important. It's a thing called a score streak. So score streaks will help you along the way, and basically you get them by accumulating score, by getting kills, assists, trophy blockage, and other means of doing it just to get points. So as you can see, if I come over here, it says 600 until I get this one. Before I entered the hill and got plus 100, it was 700. So that's how it builds up over and over. And then once you die, it resets.
Locked down.
So as you can see on the bottom left-hand side, I'm gaining points by standing in this hill. Each second is a point, as you can see. And also, if you notice, while I'm in the hill, the game timer isn't going down. So 448, it's not going down at all. But if I exit the hill, which I will do shortly, the timer starts to go down. So the reason they created this is that so the timer doesn't just run out, because you can contest the hard points and the timer will go down. So the way they created this is to make more, and so the game developers wanted to have more exciting matches, so the timer wouldn't just run out before a team got to 250. So they wanted to see that happen. So I'm just gonna come over here real quick. So basically now the hard points are switching. So every 60 seconds, as you can see, it says 58 right here because I skipped a little too far. It's gonna rotate. So there are, on this map, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hard points there are. So that will rotate throughout until a team reaches 250 or until the 5-minute timer is up. So the next one is gonna be over here, and I'm gonna show you a setup for this map right here. Okay, so basically, I'm back here right now, and as I said earlier, there's submachine guns and there are assault rifles. So back here, you're gonna want to have an assault rifle player, and this is known as anchoring. So what anchoring is basically when you die, you're spawning up. The game needs to decide where you want to spawn, and that's dictated by positive and negative influences within the game. So positive influence, meaning it's more likely you'll spawn there, is when your teammates are around. So what this anchor position does is that's what they're doing. They're holding down the spawns for your team so that when you die, you go right here, and the hill is literally right to the right. This is normally going to be an assault rifle player, and they usually stay back here within the setup because they can watch this lane right here and within this building right here. Next up is basically going to be your support player. And so the hill is directly to the right. So they're going to help out they're going to help by blocking off incoming players that are pushing from the front right here, and then maybe pushing from the side or even through this building, through the side door. That's their role. Next, you have the objective player. They're going to be the ones getting the points for you, actually sitting in the hill and accumulating the points. And so the objective player can either play really aggressive and challenge out this front like this, when